October stats we're talking about at the moment, 121 houses sold in October, which was roughly about what you'd expect for October over the last years. We had 124 last year and 91 the year before, so similar sort of October figures. And if you look at the last 5 months, it was plus or minus 120 houses sold, so there was 1 month up and 1 month down, but it was around about that. So the number of houses selling is pretty stable at the moment. The number of houses selling and price breakdowns, they changed last month, and the big change is that normally the larger number of houses sold, 250 to 350, those numbers were down last month, and then houses selling from 450 to 550, they were up. So it flattened out across the market, the graph flattened out across the market, which was quite interesting. I think that was pretty well driven by the Reserve Bank decision that the banks would need to have 20% deposit in their loans, and that took out probably the first home buyer, and the investor buyer were slowed up by that. It'll be interesting to see how November reacts to it. Prices of property, I think, have stayed pretty stable. There's the buyers out there, but they are still quite discerning about what they want to buy and how much they want to spend for it. They tend to be quite well educated and know what the market is, and so therefore that they're paying fair market price, which is okay. And the prices, how the prices have then gone, have pretty well stayed level. They haven't increased. Occasionally you might find one that's sold a little bit above what you would have thought, but most of them are just around about market value. The prediction for the next few months is that with Christmas coming, it can be a interesting time in what people are doing and how they are operating, and I think that from a seller's point of view, you need to be in the market, and because you do have serious buyers coming through at this time. So I can see steady as she goes. There will be probably as many sales happening for the next little while as there has been over the last 5 months. And those people that want to get sorted out for the start of the new year, schooling and things, then you really want to be there. You have out-of-towners coming in and out, so of town, so they are serious and want to get their situation sorted because they haven't got a lot of time to actually sort it out. And you might find in that there's not a lot of activity, but there's the activity you get are real buyers.
Right, so people are more serious.
Yeah. I think from the buyer's point of view is that I have noticed that listings are a little bit lower. So therefore, if you are serious about buying, I suggest that if a house is falling into the right category, then you're going to need to make a decision on it, because you will be in a competitive situation.
Are the new rules making it harder to sell a home in the lower price brackets?
If you look at the stats for October, yes, they have. It appears that it has affected that. It'll be interesting to see how that just settles down and plays out. I think that there will be a lag time where people that are close to the 20% or that save that balance, so they may need to wait an extra month or 2 months or year or half year before they have the 20%. So there will be a lag time, and then we'll be up and running.
Could you give any advice to somebody in that bracket that wants to sell their home now?
I think still it's important to be out there and on the market, because you never do know of what's happened. I mean, that still houses did sell, and
I guess, does that put more importance on the things of presentation and pricing?
Yeah, it certainly does. You need to be you are competing, so therefore you do need to make sure your house is well presented and do all of the normal things like declutter and do your gardens and make sure it's nice and tidy and sharp. Make it as sharp as you can.